Unit 8 Test, Part B, Audio 1.
Welcome to Tech Lab. Now, I've always been a massive fan of Star Trek, the TV series set on a spaceship called the Enterprise. What amazed me about it was the producer's ability to predict the future, such as the communicators used by the crew of the Enterprise. Have you ever noticed their similarity with the foldable phones which appeared in the 1990s? With me is Felix McGrath, who has written a book about the different ways in which science, technology and science fiction interact. Welcome, Felix.
Thanks, Danny.
Star Trek has been credited with predicting the future in other ways, hasn't it?
Well, there are certainly examples of futuristic gadgets in the series which have since become reality, such as the voice assistant, which follows the captain's commands, or the replicators, which resembled 3D food printers. That said, it doesn't mean they were predictions. Instead, the producers were imagining a future based on the beliefs and desires of humanity when the series was written.
Could you clarify that point?
Sure. You probably know the dystopian classic 1984. So, some people are amazed that Orwell, the author, managed to predict surveillance cameras decades before they were invented. But what he was actually doing was imagining a world where surveillance was taken to the extreme. He could see that humans are inclined to spy on each other, so he imagined how that might look in the future. While he foresaw surveillance cameras, he couldn't predict the most powerful tools like spyware on smartphones.
Tell me about other technology which has been imagined in science fiction.
So, going back to Star Trek for a moment, there was a machine called the Transporter, which allowed the crew to be transported from their spaceship to the surface of a planet spontaneously. The idea was that it can convert matter into energy and back again in a different location. In other words, it was a teleporter. Now, humans are currently unable to teleport, but physicists have figured out how to teleport tiny particles smaller than atoms.
But will humans be able to do that anytime soon?
I'm afraid it's extremely unlikely. What the machine does is transport information about the particles rather than the actual particles. A teleporting machine would have to transmit so much information in order to copy a human that I doubt will ever end up teleporting around the galaxy.
That's a shame. Could you tell us about some of the other concepts discussed in your book?
Sure. So, any of your viewers familiar with the film The Matrix will remember the main character, played by Keanu Reeves, discovers that he's living in a simulation. His entire world's generated by a giant computer, in which humans are harvested for their energy in order to power it. Well, strange though it sounds, some scientists hold the view that reality could actually be an extremely complex simulation. They use mathematics to show that the chances of us existing in a simulation are higher than us not existing in one.
I hope that doesn't turn out to be true.
We'll probably never know whether that's true or not. However, one idea from the film Minority Report does seem possible. In the film, the character played by Tom Cruise works in the pre-crime department of the police, where he uses 3 people known as precogs, who are plugged into a computer, to determine crimes which will take place in the future. Although this seems like pure fantasy, there's evidence that artificial intelligence can already do something along those lines. State-of-the-art software, used to scan the internet and build up profiles of potential criminals, also seems capable of identifying crimes before they happen. Of course, this has led to the same ethical questions which arise in the film, such as, should you arrest or imprison someone for a crime which they haven't committed yet?